Hello everyone, how are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing today? Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good night, wherever you are welcome. So how are you guys doing today? And don't spam the chat, okay? If you have an opinion, then share it. You are most welcome to do it, but don't spam it with your opinion. Nick, good morning, good afternoon. So we have FOMC today, right? We have FOMC at 2 o'clock. We are starting our stream at 1 o'clock so that we can have a good analysis, okay? Because analysis take time. And today we'll also do our analysis on dollar. So we'll together see how price delivers both on indices and on dollar as well. We want to see a clean price action. Okay, so today we'll have a giveaway of my 6-month mentorship, and the giveaway is not getting hosted by me but by 4 of my students. They paid for one person's entry. So my students are Brian, Omar, Rodriguez, and Andrews. They all together, 4 of them, they together paid for one person's seat. Okay, so I will give you a one entry for someone who is willing to study with me, willing to learn from me for 6 months inside my mentorship. So all you have to do is be active on the chat and I will choose you from here. Okay, there's no differentiate between like I know this person, so I'm gonna choose him over you. So there's no difference. So just be active on the chat, and the mentorship is basically like $300. So you're getting $300 free entry, right? And the mentorship is gonna be for 6 months. And the best thing about the mentorship is that I'm gonna live stream everything that I'm gonna teach you, or I'm gonna show to you the concept. What other people do is like they make a mentorship, they have a course, and everything is hindsight. Okay, they will never live stream. And the difference between me and them is that I'm gonna take you. I'm not just gonna show you that these are the concepts that I'm using, these are the concepts that made me profitable, but I'm gonna take you with me on live chart and I'm gonna show to you like what's happening there, what you should be expecting, like I'm doing right now, right? And this is way cheaper than what other people are offering. In my eyes, it's very cheap, and I kept it this way. So basically, like I'm gonna talk a little bit about it. I saw some people complaining about it, but the thing is like what other people offering and what I'm offering is way different. What they are offering is just a course. Yes, I'm offering a course, but I'm not stopping there. I'm gonna live stream for 6 months. So the money that you are paying for the course is basically nothing. Trust me, in 6 months you will get 100 times more than what you are paying for. Okay, so with this saying, we have a giveaway. Keep that in mind, and just be active on chat if you want to get a free entry. And thank you to Brian, Omar, Rodriguez, and Andrews. Okay, they're the one who's hosting the giveaway. I'm gonna host a giveaway at the end of the December. I'm gonna do two giveaways, and there I'm gonna give away like 5 spot. So for that you will have to wait. Today I'm only gonna give away 1, and they are the people who are basically hosting it. Okay, so I'm gonna start. It's 1 or 2. We still have 50 minutes, right? So yesterday, the folks who were in my stream, what I did here is like I showed you guys these 2 swing high as a target on weekly chart. right? So this swing high was called yesterday. Our drawn liquidity was in one direction, as you guys know, that I never, when you see me calling the market, there's no stream. You won't be able to outline a single stream where I'm calling market in the both direction, and then like luckily market is going there, and I'm telling you that that's what happening. No, I'm only gonna show you, okay, this is where the market's gonna go. I believe it's gonna go here, and then I'm gonna take you on the lower time frame and show you why price should go here. It's not just randomly I'm calling a level, and this is the level that I called yesterday. And this was our drawn liquidity, and I gave you guys two price level, this swing high and this one, right? So price already delivered one swing high up here. This is the buy side liquidity, and left this buy side liquidity intact. So on higher time frame, on weekly chart, you may be confused, like how can this be a buy side liquidity? There's no swing, right? So for that, you will have to drop down to the lower time frame. Because of my experience, I know that this swing high on lower time frame, sorry, this week on lower time frame is a swing high. So if you doubt it, just go on lower time frame, search it, and you will see a swing high here, and the buy side liquidity will be up here. So we had buy side liquidity up here, we delivered it. Now we'll be targeting this one, and there's another small little fair value gap. I don't know if you guys can see it. This one is more like a BPR, right? Okay, so let me mark it. It's very small though, but on lower time frame it's gonna be big, right? So this is gonna be our draw on liquidity today. So this is our buy side liquidity up here, and this is the another buy side liquidity. This one's got delivered, so I'm gonna put it this way, and this is gonna be our today's draw on liquidity. Let me check, like, how many points of difference? Oh, 300 points. I think we can make it, right? 300 points, 400 points in a FOMC. It's very much possible. We did it yesterday. When yesterday we were here, and the difference between this low from here to here was like 300 point as well. So yesterday we did it. We did deliver more than 300 points. So today I believe we'll be able to do it again, as we have FOMC. This morning the AM session was very clean. Okay, if I get time, then I'll review what price did at 9:30, because it was clean. The delivery was very aggressive. The way I teach you guys, that's the very way price delivered liquidity at 9:30 today. I wasn't expecting it. Okay, I didn't took any trades there, but it is what it is. Just it was so beautiful, the delivery. Okay, so on daily chart, I don't see anything else worth mentioning other than this fair value gap here. Okay, and from by the look of weekly chart, I'm not expecting a lower price action at FOMC. So on DOW, I'm expecting higher price action, as well as on Nasdaq, but we'll go on Nasdaq and we'll see. Okay, when I'm gonna take you on lower time frame on Nasdaq, it will make way more sense why price should go towards buy side liquidity. We trade based on liquidity levels. Okay, now let's go to, am I missing anything on daily? Okay, I'm not. Then let's go to 4-hour chart, and on 4-hour we got this order block right here, and this is our sell side liquidity down here. So nothing is confirmed yet. Okay, from the weekly chart we outlined two nearest swing highs. On daily chart we saw this fair value gap, right? Other than that, there was nothing else. Then on 4-hour chart we have this fair value gap and this swing low down here, which is our sell side liquidity right here. Now I'm gonna drop down to the 1-hour chart. So look carefully what I'm doing here. I'm only marking the PD areas that I can see easily on chart. I'm not doing anything else. It's very easy to decide the bias I don't know why you guys frustrate yourself so much on bias. It's so easy to decide either you are right or you are wrong. Okay, don't like when you are wrong, don't be like, okay, why am I wrong, how am I get, you will get better slowly. Be patient and just don't make yourself confused. Okay, just mark the levels that make sense to you, like the way I'm doing it. You don't need to use a lot of concept. I see like people marking everything on their chart, and when you do mark everything on your chart, that's what makes you confused. Because if I'm marking every single PTA that I'm seeing here on 4-hour, weekly, daily, how am I gonna know what's my bias? Because at every single PTA, price is gonna be sensitive, right? Suppose I'm marking the inversion here, then I'm marking this swing low here, then this relative equal low here, then this order block here. I'm gonna be confused. I'm only gonna mark the PTAs that make sense to me, that is easily spottable, and that's what I do basically, and that's what gives me a good idea what price will go and how price will deliver. So we have another sell side liquidity down here. So do you guys see it? How am I doing it? So this is our sell side liquidity, and we already had multiple stop hunt up here. We cleared out a major swing high from the weekly chart, right? This is our buy side liquidity up here, and we also have a breaker. So these down close candles that you see right here is our breaker, and we have this unfilled fair value gap. I don't like this wick right here, okay? Because of this wick, this fair value gap turned out to be a breakaway gap. So this is a very important concept to understand, when a fair value gap will get filled and when it won't. Okay, so when you see, I'm just gonna give you guys a little hint. It's way deeper than what I'm gonna talk here. When you have a fair value gap here, like suppose you have a fair value gap here, and as you can see we have it, then you have a wick right here. So when price generates a fair value gap and then a wick right next to it, it becomes a breakaway gap. This gap is not gonna get filled by price. And yesterday on stream I showed you guys another example of breakaway gap. The folks who are into learning, like who listened to me carefully, they understood what I'm talking about it. And yesterday I showed you guys a real-time example of a breakaway gap. The last call that I did yesterday at 10:50 macro, right? It was 9:50 I believe. Yeah, it was 9:50 to 10:10 macro. Yeah, so, and that macro I showed you guys an example of a breakaway gap. So okay, so when you see a breakaway gap like this, you can just put your stop loss below the fair value gap. So because if price is coming down filling the fair value gap, this is gonna be your last line of defense. It gives a good idea like which fair value gap will get filled and which one don't. Lucas, for that, go and watch our mentors long lectures, because you don't have a specific video where it talks about a breakaway gap. It's different, it's spread, like you'll have to watch all of it, everything, to find out a good amount of details about one concept. And that's good that he did it, because the folks who are putting in the work, they are the only one who is gonna make it. The folks who are just watching 1 or 2 videos and they are thinking like, okay, they made it, they will lose a lot of money, they will blow a lot of account. Anyway, so we got a fair value gap here. This is our buy side liquidity up here. We got relative equal lows down here. It's better not a SMT. Is it a SMT? Can anyone confirm the low swing low that formed at 9 o'clock and the next candle that formed at 10 o'clock? Is it a SMT down here? If it's a SMT, then yeah, it will change our bias. But if it's not, then we will expect to see price coming down here, clearing this level out. Let's go to the 50-minute chart. So do you guys see how clean this level is? Okay, let me check. So this low got generated at 9:30. This one got generated at 10. 930 and 10. So price is basically going below the swing low here on ES as well, right? So the analysis that I'm doing on DOW is basically same on ES because they move basically similar, right? So I believe we have a potential SMT down here. Do you guys see that this SMT is clean? We already had one here. Now we are just going below this low again, where DOW is the weakest, right? DOW is not going below this swing low. It's way farther from here, from this swing low right here. So there's another interesting thing on ES to look at is this relative equal high up here. So we are expecting bullish price action. We have been bullish, and this is SMT as well, I believe. 845 and then 11. So 845 here, and we got our 845 and 11. Okay, they are having a different price action here, right? ES had a little bit more movement up here where DOW didn't, right? But they have a SMT now down here. So let's see if this SMT holds. We still have more than half an hour before the news gets released, so it's something to keep in mind, and we're not gonna rush into a bias right away. Okay, I also see strong targets down here, like this sell side liquidity, then this fair value gap on hourly chart, but this is more like a breakaway gap. So I'm not sure like if price is gonna come down, clear out this swing low, but if this SMT is holding, then we can expect to see price going higher, and this is our high probability bias. Trend is our friend, right? And this is gonna be a level to keep an eye on, because this level is very clean. So this is the reason that I wait for the news to get delivered, and after that we have macros where we believe price will have a good setup, good breaker setup. Okay, so what else do I see here? On 15-minute chart, I see basically like price generating buy side liquidity, sell side liquidity, a range bound delivery here again. So all we have to do is find out a swing low. This is a swing low, okay, right here, and this is a swing high, and price is now delivering inside it, right? Why is this a swing low? Because look at the candle that it has right next to it. Because of that. Okay, so I'm gonna come back in 2 minutes. Okay, I'm just gonna go drink some water, and then I'm gonna come back. Okay, so I'm back. So we have a swing low down here. So this is basically like a turtle soup model that I teach. So we got liquidity, strong liquidity in both sides of the marketplace, right? So now I'll go to 5-minute chart and see. It's making way more sense. On 15-minute, it's not that clear, but on 5-minute chart, you can see that how range bound it is from this swing high to this lower. Dealing range is from this high to this low right now. Okay, so we are trading inside this level. So what I'm gonna wait to see is like in which direction price is going first. Okay, FOMC is basically a two-stage delivery. The first stage gets delivered at 2 o'clock, the second stage gets delivered at 2:30. So we'll wait. Today is gonna be a day where price will test our patience. Okay, now we'll go to 3-minute chart. Yeah, the same thing is getting way more clear here on 3-minute, and this is the level that I'll keep an eye on, because this is basically a SMT, and this is also a clean level here on DOW. Now I'll take you guys on Nasdaq, and we'll see what's happening here. Okay, so on Nasdaq, this is another level that was called yesterday. This level right here. Okay, I told you guys that this is gonna be our draw on liquidity yesterday. Price may reach for this level, as this is a mitigation block. On other charts, this is a breaker. As you can see, we made a higher high, and here we made a lower high. So right, so this is a mitigation block on Nasdaq. In other pairs, it's a breaker. So this level was called yesterday. Now let's see where price can go today. This right here is a breaker, this last up close candle. All of these are breakers, but the best reaction happens from the last up close candle. Okay, last up close or the down close candles. And this here is our breaker. Price had a fair value gap here inside the breaker. Very nice reaction. So we are bullish in every way. Price is telling us that we are bullish, right? Even on weekly charts. So now we'll have to find out where price can potentially go. So what I'm gonna do right now, because we don't have any other PDRA here other than this fair value gap, and this is far, I'm looking at weekly chart, and if I see the difference between the delivery, this is like 350 points, right? Similar to what we are expecting, where we are expecting Dow to deliver, right? This swing high and then this fair value gap. So the same difference, 350 points around this. So I'm gonna mark this fair value gap, and I'm gonna do another stuff. I'm gonna measure the order blocks that I see here. So this is our CB, and this is our mitigation block. And these are the price levels where we'll see price getting sensitive. Okay, on weekly chart, the sensitiveness will be very low, but on lower time frame, a little bit of fluctuation at these levels will give us minimum 2 hours of trade. Okay, so price already hit the low of this order blocks right here, right? So this is our upper quadrant, sorry, lower quadrant, and the upper quadrant up here. So now it's correct. So I'm gonna mark the 0.25 level and the 0.5 level. Okay, these are the two levels that I'm gonna mark. So we got our PDRAs from, we got our target from the weekly chart. Now we'll drop down to the lower time frame, because a single time frame will not give us a high probability bias. We need to go through different time frames and see, well, if our higher time frame trade idea is getting supported by lower time frame. So we have a pool running on here at chat. Okay, so we are basically predicting how the FOMC will deliver. So share your idea, share where you think the FOMC will deliver and how the movement will be, bullish or bearish or seek and destroy. So on daily chart, what do we have? We have a fair value gap, which I believe won't get filled. So either way, I'm not expecting a lower price action at FOMC, but hey, I never give anything like with 100% confirmation. Anything can happen. I'm probably wrong. So if my analysis is going against yours, stick with your analysis. Okay, so this is a gap, and I don't think price will reach all the way down here. So we'll have to find some PDRA down here, sorry, up here. So let's go to 4-hour chart. And on 4-hour, what do I see? I see a fair value gap, right? And this is a big fair value gap, and it's on 4 hours. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna measure this fair value gap like this, and the best reaction from a fair value gap happens at the midway of a fair value gap. Okay, this is the high probability level. Now I'm gonna look at the price level, because it's not only the quadrant levels that are important, but also the price levels near to it. So this is our 0.5% of this fair value. Let me mark another one. 0.25% lower quadrant. Okay, now it's good. Okay, now it's better. So these are the two levels that I'm gonna keep an eye on, and this 0.5 is coming at, look at the price level, it's coming at 16,560, right? This is a good price level, and this one is coming at 16,540, around like 550 and 540. Okay, so I believe this one price will be sensitive at this level. Now let's go to hourly chart and let's see what is actually here. So now that I'm dropped down to the hourly chart, you guys can see we basically have a fair value gap on hourly that we didn't hit yet. And look how this midway, this 4-hour fair value gap midway is aligning with the hourly fair value gap midway. This one, price is fractal. What you see on weekly chart, you will see the same thing on 1-minute chart. So the folks who tell me like, I don't know how to trade on 1 minute, it looks so choppy. If you know how to trade on 15-minute hourly chart, the fuck you know how to trade on 1-minute chart. If you don't know how to trade there, of course you will find 1 minute confusing. And if you don't know about time and price concept, how to align price with time, then of course 1 minute is gonna be very choppy to you. Now this level is coming down here, and we'll keep an eye on this fair value gap, this BC. Now let's go to the 15-minute chart. And we also got an order block right here, right at the midway of the hourly fair value gap. And a lot of bearish PDRAs right here. So I don't see anything else other than price coming down to this fair value gap. Now I'm gonna drop down to the 5-minute chart, and here 3-minute is better. Here, as you guys can see, we have a trend line liquidity going on, right? Price is respecting a trend line beautifully. So I don't know how to draw a trend line, high probability trend line, but I think it looks something like this, right? So what do you see here? This is a trend line liquidity. So I'm not gonna be bearish until price clears out this trend line liquidity. That means what? Suppose at FOMC we are seeing a clean delivery to our sell side, price is not coming up and clearing this level out, then after the FOMC gets delivered, we'll be able to target this level up here. Okay, if FOMC is clearing out this liquidity, right? So at FOMC, this can also happen. Price coming down, right? Hitting this 0.5%, going a little bit lower, then turning around. So something like this. So this is what I wanna see happening. This is what I prefer to see happening. If this is what's happening and I see a breaker as well, I see a breaker forming inside my macro, I'll take this. I'll take that trade, because these are high probability target. Okay, the highest it gets, relative equal high, it's here. Unfilled fair value gap, it's here. On 3-minute chart, let me see if it's visible on 5-minute. Yes. So this is our buy side liquidity up here. I'm not gonna target all the way up here, but even if price is reaching all the way up here, it will make me profitable. So this is our buy side liquidity, and we have this trend line liquidity going on. This is what we will target. So we got relative equal low down here. So I want to see price coming down and then turning. Okay, so we got our idea about NQ, DOW, and NASDAQ. Now we'll keep, now we'll just watch and see how price is delivering in all of these pairs. Okay, meanwhile, I'm gonna talk about dollar. Now the newbies, the noobs, they will what I shared here, they will put a limit order here, trusting my analysis, which you should not. Okay, you should not be trusting anyone else's analysis unless it's yours. Okay, so don't just listen to me like from an open mindset. Don't take a trade based on my analysis. Please don't do that, and if you do, please don't share what you did. Now let's go to dollar and what's happening here on dollar. So yesterday, the folks who watched my stream, this was a good support level for price, and we called market from here. We expected a bullish delivery from this order block after price cleared out this sell side liquidity down here. Okay, we had a breaker. We also called market higher from that breaker as well. Now the question is where price is coming today. So we got this is our buy side liquidity up here. This was our new day opening gap, right? So price came up, hit this new day opening gap, filled it, and went down after that. So today, as I can see, we have liquidity up here, right? This is the buy side liquidity that can easily be spottable. This relative equal high is up here, and we also got another relative equal high going on, more like a trend line liquidity, right? So what I believe, if we are expecting a lower price action first on indices and then a higher price action, right? So if this is what's happened, this is what we are expecting on the indices, then the opposite is gonna be on dollar. So this is our equal high. So it makes sense to me, price coming up, clearing out the equal highs and then dropping. And if this is what's happening, you know what we are expecting on NASDAQ, right? NASDAQ is showing a very good signature where it want to deliver. On NASDAQ, we are expecting this. So see how it's aligning with the analysis that I did on indices with dollar, right? So all we have to do right now is to wait, because this is a price action that we avoid. Okay, this price action is high resistance liquidity run, and we don't take part in these liquidity runs. We take part in low resistance liquidity run, where price goes to our expected level in just a couple of minutes. So let's see what happens, folks. Okay, we got our levels. Now all we want to see price respecting these levels after the FOMC news is getting delivered at 2 o'clock. So let's wait. So 245 people voted, and majority is expecting a bullish delivery. Okay, The 34% is expecting a bearish delivery, 9% is expecting a seek and destroy. So yesterday majority was right? Majority were right or wrong? I think majority were wrong. So today we'll see what happens. Why you mark equal high in Dixie? Reason, please. I already shared the reason. Forex is not that clean with time. Forex is clean, but not as much as indices. Okay, let me check. Let me go on Euro USD. The way I don't like to trade on Forex because the way it moves, it's not so clean like indices. That's the thing. Like, look at the price action here. It's FOMC, so this is what is expected basically. But the thing that I don't like about Forex is that when it goes into consolidation, it consolidates for days, even for weeks, and that's what never happens on indices. On lower time frame, you will find it set up, you will find a trade, you will find a clean setup. But on Forex, it's different. And another reason why I avoid Forex is the way I trade is by targeting equal high and equal lows. And on Forex, it seems like price respects these equal high and equal lows a lot. Like, look at here, this is a equal low, right? So if this price action was happening on for indices, I would have expected to see a short from this breaker, right? This is a breaker on Forex, on Euro, but this breaker, see, never got respected. Price went up, cleared out the buy side liquidity from here. These relative equal lows never got cleared out. So these are some things, like look at here and even up here. So now that, suppose I'm wrong here, so suppose this is the price action that's happening on indices, I will expect to see price coming up and going above the swing high. So there's a lot of things that happens on Euro on Forex that I don't like, but that doesn't mean that you can't trade Forex. It just, I don't like to trade. Like, look at here, look at these relative equal highs. I'm not looking at the lower time frame, it's 1 hour chart. So this is something you won't see happening on indices. Indices will generate equal highs like this, but at the same time, after hitting a discount period, it will come back up and clear out these levels. So indices goes with my model, the way I trade, with my personality for Forex. So I don't basically like Forex. But on higher time frame, it's very clean though. On higher time frame, it's cleaner. Like, this is a breaker, right? We also got an inversion here. So this is a level that I taught you guys as a very important price level, right? When price generates a inversion at the level where it's shifting its trend, basically the smart money reversal, where the smart money reversal is happening, the inversion that forms there is one of the most powerful inversion. So this is something that you don't know because it doesn't exist outside of my community. And price came back up, hit this inversion, and basically like to going down, right? And we also got an order block here on Euro USD. So I don't trade these pairs, so talking about these are just basically like a waste of time. It's very clean on Nasdaq. Like, look at these price levels, these relative equal highs. So I'm not gonna look for a bearish trade until these levels are getting cleared out. Okay, so this is our buy side liquidity. Buy side liquidity is resting up here. Why are marked here? Okay, because if I take you on 5-minute chart, you will see we have an unfilled fair value gap here. Okay, the other fair value gaps that we had a BPR here. Price filled it, right? Price came back up, filled it completely, closed the candle's body inside this BPR, then went down. We only have this one left unfilled, and this is gonna be my target. Okay, this was left unfilled because this is a breakaway gap. What did I told you guys? Okay, I gave you guys a hint the folks who joined my stream early, the folks who have been watching my stream from the beginning, you heard me giving you guys a little jam about the breakaway gap. When you see a fair value gap, okay, and then a week next to it, do we have a week here? Yeah, so that becomes a breakaway gap here. Do you see a week here? No, but you see it here, right? So it goes way deeper than this. Is just a normal basic knowledge, but to understand it more, you'll need to find it out by yourself. So breakaway gap is like the gap that won't get filled, okay? So it gives you a good idea like which fair value gap will get filled and which won't. And yeah, that's it. It's just very easy to understand. Now you'll be like, okay, how can I know it? But it takes a little bit of time. You can trade without understanding this concept completely. Like if you have no idea how this is, you will still be profitable. It doesn't matter like if you're understanding this or not. So now it's time to wait. Pablo is asking, when you think there is a SMT, do you compare it with dollar, NQ, and DS, or only with one of them? If I'm trading on DOW, then I'm gonna look for the SMT between NQ and ES. I'm always watching these three charts, always. So if I'm trading on NQ, then I will see like if other two pairs are also generating a lower high like this. I basically rarely watch dollar to confirm a SMT. I'm feeling so sleepy today. I don't know why. I basically never ever trade after 10 o'clock. The max that I go is like 10:30. I get done with my 820 macro, 920 macro. Now that you guys are spending a little bit of time with me, you know how powerful this 920 macro is, right? When you get experience, like suppose you are watching the same delivery at 9:30 for 2-3 years, right? You will get so much experience and you will trust that 9:30 is enough for you, only this one macro. So most of the time I'm only looking at 920 macro and I'm trading there. So the macro that I use at 920, it presents the setup and the execution before the 9:30 delivery. So what I basically do, predict how the 9:30 delivery is gonna happen. What ICT taught so far is like how to take the Judas after the 9:30 delivery happens. What I do is like I teach how to participate in that 9:30 delivery. So there's a difference, and no one in this whole industry you will find doing something like this. No one. There's no one ever talked about 920 macro. No one's ever talked about 820 macro. There's no one ever talked about finding one model inside every single time. No one. They will tell you, okay, this is the time and price. But you go to them, they will teach you, okay, look for fair value gap, look for order block, look for this, look for that. And they make you confused, right? So This is not what I do. I'm gonna teach you one model. I'm gonna give you different time frames, and you will look for the same thing every single time, every single day, the same thing. If it repeats, you will execute, and it repeats with a great deal of precision. Okay, the max, like you will see, price is not respecting our concept is like 2-3 days. After that, we are back on track, and we have so many macros to look for one single model, which is breaker. So let's we still have like 15 minutes. Okay, so I don't like to sit calm. That's what I don't like. I always wanna, if I'm streaming, I always wanna give some value here. So I'll talk a little bit about the 9:30 delivery that happened today. Okay, so a little bit choppier, right? So this is why I avoided it, but it did formed the way I thought. So this is a breaker, right? See, when did this breaker got generated? At 8:50. Okay, this is why I don't like to trade 8:50 macros. And I told you guys, when we have news at 8:30, only then 8:50 macro is gonna get like high probability. But if you don't have the experience, I'm just gonna tell you, just avoid it. Okay, just avoid 8:50 macro completely. There are other two macros like 8:20, 9:20, 9:50, then 10:50 macros. These are highest probability macros. You'll find something there. So at 8:50 price generated this breaker, then it went above this swing highs. There may be a PDA. There's gonna be a higher time for PDA that price hit. And the way I teach it, after price closes a candlestick body below the breaker gets activated. Okay, and price closes the candlestick body below the breaker got activated. Look at what time price activated this breaker. Every single time you take a trade, also always consider to see what time price is giving you an entry. Okay, and look here, 9:21. Okay, 9:21 price activated this breaker by closing this candle, and after that price is basically just went down from this level. And we are not just trading blindly a model. Okay, we also look for high probability target. That means what? We look for equal high, equal lows, and every single time I told you that there will be a breaker, every single time you will see relative equal lows there, relative equal highs there. So if your breaker is really the breaker, really the high probability breaker, then there will be relative equal lows like this. So this is the exact freaking model that I taught inside my 3-day workshop, and it repeats every single day. Every single day we'll find minimum 1 or 2 setup that looks exactly the same way I taught. So this is our relative equal lows, right? A lot of relative equal lows are resting down here, and then a lot of sell side liquidity below here. And look at the delivery after that. So this is something that we don't see pre-FOMC. Pre-FOMC is more like manipulative, a lot more choppiness like this. So as you can see, it was very nice here, right? If I take you guys on DOW as well, you will see like the same thing repeating on DOW. So this is our 9:13. Okay, so this is the breaker that price generated, price went above. Okay, so you start marking the breaker. How will you know? Okay, a newbie question will be, how will you know, how am I gonna know that this is the breaker? You know this is the breaker when price gets inside our macro. Okay, it's as simple as that. Why? I don't know why some newbies make it so confusing. So this is the breaker, right? When do you start looking for a breaker? When price gets inside our macro. 9:20 is the period. Okay, Price generated this candle, did a stop hunt, so this last down close candle becomes our breaker. Price went down, heavily distributed, generated a fair value gap, but it never got filled. So this is a breakaway gap. Okay, it's very simple to understand the breakaway gap the way I'm showing it to you. See, we have a wick here, right? So price came down, right? This candle opened here, then after that it went down, it delivered sell side, then it delivered buy side liquidity again. So when you see this and then a fair value gap forming next to it, this fair value gap will never get filled. Okay, so you can take your entries accordingly below the fair value gap with a stop loss like above the fair value gap. And see, this fair value gap never got filled, price never came back up to fill it. So this is a very simple concept to understand, and this gives you a good idea like to understand if this fair value gap is gonna get filled or not. And trust me, you heard me saying it, okay, but you will not understand it with one day. That's why the newbie don't get it. Newbie blow their account. This concept takes time to understand, takes time to see on chart. Like this will take time from your part. So if you are a newbie, then I'll highly recommend you to stick with the basic knowledge. Just try to outline the breaker consistently, and once you are consistent with the breaker, 2-3 months spend on the breaker, and after that jump to other new concepts. So we had this breaker, right? Then we also got this relative equal low. So every single time you see a breaker, you will see relative equal lows. If there's no relative equal lows, then your breaker is not as high probability as you want it to be. Can you please elaborate? I won't. Okay. There are some things I'm keeping for my mentorship, and see, delivered liquidity all the way down here. Price generated a volume balance, came back up, right? Hit the volume balance, and then it went down. So this is the difference between my mentorship and other people's mentorship. I'm not just gonna like let you walk alone. I'm gonna walk with you by showing you how it works, how price is delivering all real time. Okay, not with hindsight. This is what I don't like to do, sharing knowledge in hindsight. All I want to do is sharing knowledge with live price action, because when I'm showing it to you on live, if I was showing it to you on hindsight, it will take time for you to understand it on your own. But if I'm showing it to you on live, real time, it will take way less time and you will progress way faster. So we didn't hit this BC basically, right? This BC is unfilled. We are going towards buy side now. Let's wait. Okay, let's wait and see what price does. I also told you that this is also another scenario that is possible, like price coming up, clearing out every liquidity up here, then coming down. But this is not something that I want to see. I want to see price coming down, hitting this fair value gap, then going towards buy side, leaving these relative equal highs intact, this trend line liquidity intact. And after the FOMC gets delivered, I want to see price clearing these levels out. Why? Because I'm not trading FOMC. So if price is clearing my targets at FOMC, after that, like, I will have to wait longer, because without a high probability target, I'm not gonna be the one who is taking that trade. Do you guys understand? So this is the reason I want to see price coming down, hitting this fair value gap, and then going towards buy side. But if it's clearing out these relative equal highs, it's okay. I'm just gonna wait a little bit longer. When I started, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, okay? When I started talking about macros, there was no one around in the whole industry who were talking about macros. So back in like 2022, there wasn't many people who were talking about macros, and I only talked about one simple concept is macro. They all will talk about time and price, but you go on their timeline, it's nothing there, nothing about time and price. You go on my timeline anywhere, go on my YouTube, go on my Twitter, go on my Telegram, you will see every single thing that I'm sharing is with time and price. Every single execution that I'm sharing is with time and price. There's hundreds, more than 200 execution recording on my Twitter. You will find if you go there, and every single one of the execution recording is based is with my macros. Okay, so we got a breaker here, and I don't want to see price activating it. If I take you guys on lower time frame, okay, see price is generating this trend line liquidity again, right? Very clean. It's way cleaner than what we have here, right? Look at this. Sometimes, I wish I could trade FOMC because there's no consistency in FOMC. It's like way too fast and it's way too volatile. Even if your stop loss is getting hit, you are losing way more money than you lose basically in a trade. But there's a part inside me that wanna trade FOMC because it generates a lot of money, to be honest, but it's a gamble, right? Yeah, did you, Nick? I heard that, but I knew that, okay, long before he mentioned it, because he used to share his execution recordings when he was back in Twitter, right? Back in 2022, I saw him sharing a lot of trades, exactly at 9:20 inside that time period, and he never talked about these macros. So I was like, what is this? Why is taking a trade before the Judas is happening, before the market is opening? So that's how I found out that, okay, there's a setup that repeats. So it took some time from my part to find it out, but it was easy. It was easier because of him. There's a lot of things that he doesn't share openly, but he shares like silently. So that if you are a student who always looks for a signal, then you won't find it. But if you are there to learn how he is doing it, then of course you will find it. So I'm gonna stick with the 5-minute chart. We have a lot of sell side liquidity down here. So I really want to see price coming down, hitting this PC, and then going towards buy side. Okay, so it's not a signal, trust me, don't take it. It's just that this is what I want to see. The mentorship gonna head with basic things. Yeah, you will find every single basic thing there, but not like basic thing like you'll have to understand the basic of ICT concept. I'm not gonna go through the basic that you can already see and watch on his free YouTube. I'm gonna share what I believe is high probability. I'm only gonna share the high probability stuff. Yeah, ICT has 81 PDRs, and I believe he shared most of it. So 2 minutes, majority thinks it's gonna be a bullish delivery, right? So 31% bearish, 11% seek and destroy. So we'll see. We'll see if majority is getting right or wrong. He said he had 81 entry strategy or something like this, entry models. Yeah, if you start counting like SMT is the entry model, breaker is the entry model, fair value gap is the entry model, inversion, then order block, reclaimed breaker block, and it goes on like this. So he basically shared most of it already. I believe half of it, right? If you go on like this, then it's gonna be, you will already find how many he shared. Okay, it's happening. Okay, it's happening, and I believe we are going towards sell side first. Did you trade the AM session? I didn't. So it delivered the buy side liquidity first, right? Look at the delivery, so crazy. We're still going higher. Now this is good that price left this this level right here. Okay, so the majority owned, right? Majority were right. Around 60% people voted for bullish delivery. Okay, so the majority owned, and it's good to see that. Most of the time majority get wrong, but here in ICT community majority are winning, right? So we had a delivery towards buy side. Now we wait. And see where price is going. We have this buy side liquidity left. Now let's go to the hourly chart. On Nasdaq, this is like the target, and it's so far. We still have a difference of like 283 points, right? So we'll see. Do we have a breaker here? We do have a breaker. This last up close candle that we have here is basically working as a breaker right here. So the SMT, it holds its price right on DOW. The SMT that we had down here. So I was basically expecting a bullish delivery. But what I wanted to see is like price coming down and then delivering towards buy side. It didn't happen, and that's what I wanted to see. We generated a lot of fair value gaps, and we have a nice breaker up here. So all we have to do is now wait for price to become a little bit more cleaner. So on DOW, okay, we had this target on DOW, this buy side liquidity. So let's see if price clears this out on DOW. On DOW we have a near term target, so I'm gonna shift to DOW. This is our buy side liquidity at 37,180, around this price level. Now I'm gonna drop down to the 30-second. Dollar went straight down to our sell side, right? Dollar, I was expecting a lower price action, but after dollar cleared out these equal highs, that's what I wanted to see, and it didn't happen. So all we are gonna do now is wait. Very crazy movement. So did you guys see like how this trend line liquidity attracted price? This was our trend line liquidity up here, right? And I told you guys that I'm not gonna short unless this is getting cleared out, and now it is cleared out, right? Price cleared it out, this trend line liquidity from here. Price filled the fair value gap, and as well as it's delivered way more than what I was expecting. So we have this trend line liquidity left down here, right? We also have a SMT with yes down here, and we'll see if price wanna come down all the way down here. But on DOW, I feel like DOW is safer because this is the target that we are expecting for price to go. This is where I'm expecting for price to go, right? So let's see if price gives any opportunity. This is not a macro right now. Our macro will start at 220 to 230. Okay, this is gonna be the macro. So let's see what we have at 230. So with 230 we have a FOMC press conference. We'll see. So on DOW we cleared out the buy side liquidity that we targeted, right? We thought price will come up here. On the weekly chart, as you can see, this is our buy side liquidity, and we delivered liquidity up here, right? And we have this BPR right now to go to. So let's see if price provides any opportunity. And the thing is that I'm watching these levels as well. These relative equal lows down here. This level is too clean, and clean levels tends to get jagged. Okay, so we'll wait. So it was a very clean delivery though, one-sided, right? Straight towards buy side, cleared out all the trend line liquidity that we saw on Nasdaq. Nasdaq had a better delivery compared to DOW, because on Nasdaq we already knew basically where price is gonna go, right? This is the trend line liquidity that we outlined, and put it on your journal. Okay, put it on your journal that price generated this trend line liquidity, and after that price gravitated back towards this trend line liquidity, cleared out this trend line liquidity at FOMC release. Okay, that's how you get well knowing where price will go. This was a very strong liquidity level, right? These are the trend line liquidity, and at 2 o'clock at FOMC news release, price cleared it out. So put it on your journal, because the same thing that you see happened here will happen when we don't have a news. The same thing keeps repeating again and again. Now we wait. Okay, we let price do what it wanna do. All we care about when price is getting inside our macros. So we have this swing low down here. This is our equal low. It generated another equal low. I'm watching it on 30-second because 30-second right now is very clean, right? Look at 30-second is like 1 minute chart, like 5 minute chart. Look at the delivery here, very clean. And let's see what happens. Okay, so if I measured the move, I believe price will come down here because this level is too clean. But I'll wait for the 2:30 news to get released. Okay, FOMC is a two-stage delivery. The first stage gets delivered at 2 o'clock and the second stage gets delivered at 2:30. 2:30 is basically like tradable, so we'll see. On Dow we have this unfilled fair value gap as a target now, 144 points. So I'm gonna go on Dow and keep watching Dow. Okay, I'm gonna put NQ right here. So let's see what happens. Trend line liquidity again. So price generated trend line liquidity here again on Dow. This is the same thing they repeated on Nasdaq, right? And you guys saw how beautifully price cleared out these levels. So let's see if price provides any opportunity. So what can also happen, like price coming down here, hitting a discount PTA and then going for this fair value gap. So now let's wait. We have 10 minutes before our macro is getting started. Is there a 15-minute bull breaker forming on Dow? Asking Rio. Let's see. This one, yes, this is a price level where I'll keep an eye on. This is a potential support. If price is dropping down, this is a major buy side liquidity because this swing high is on weekly chart and we cleared it out. Okay, we are not gonna expect a sharp drop after price clears it out, but we'll see what happens. We'll let price do what it wanna do. So we generated a breaker on Nasdaq. See, do you guys see the breaker here? This is the breaker that we have. This is our breaker. We did a stop hunt above it, right? After clearing out, after offering a lot of buy side liquidity, we have target this low and a lot of unfilled fair value gap, and then ultimately this very big follow down here. So let's see what happens. So we are respecting order blocks right here. These are the order blocks. Let's see. Okay, if price is going up here, so let's see if price provides us an opportunity. 7 minutes before our macro gets started. So expecting a bullish price action from this fair value gap. Okay, we generated a good wick right here, so let's see if we go higher from this fair value gap. Watching this wick right here, and I want to see price respecting this wick. So see, we respected this wick, and this is another concept that I'm gonna share inside my mentorship. When we have a fair value gap like this, and right next to it we have a big wick right like this is the level where price will gravitate to and get support from. Okay, the fair value gap that you see, it becomes a low probability when price generates a wick like this. So I want to see price respecting this wick. When you see a wick like this, you can just put your stop loss below the wick and take a trade towards the direction where you think price will go to. So I want to price generated equal highs up here, right? So basically price is giving chance for entry, and this is the equal high. So we generated a lot of trend line on ES, right? The same thing on DOW as well. So let's see what happens. I'm feeling confident taking trades towards sell side, even though I see a target up here because of these relative equal lows down here. So we broke this, right? We went below it. I believe a market structure shift is possible right now. So 14-16, we still have 4 minutes before we hit our, but we will need price to go below this order block to confirm the market structure shift, and it's not happening. This is a low probability order block. By going below this order blocks, price is not confirming any market structure shift. This is what price is respecting constantly, right? So these are the high probability order blocks. So if price is going below it, we'll have a confirmed market structure shift. But I want to see price clearing out this equal high though. Is it a SMT that price generated? Yes, it is a SMT. See the candles on ES. These are higher high, these are lower high. So basically like a SMT, we have a SMT. But I want to see it getting cleared out because of the, look at the candles. Like it's these are relatively equal and very clean. So let's see. $14.18. We have 2 more minutes before the macro gets started. Okay, so I think we'll have a breaker here where, so as we are approaching towards our macro, right, we have this swing high up here, So I believe if price comes up here, then goes down something like this, we can use these down close candles as breaker, targeting like 2 hour from here. So something like this is what I'm expecting now at 220 to 240 macro, but we'll see. I'm still gonna wait. 250 seems like it's gonna be high probability. And Q is still pushing higher, right? So let's see if we form a 3 dive pattern up here. We got 1, 2, and the third drive. We need another one to confirm the 4th drive pattern. So something like this. We got multiple candles. Okay, so I'm not gonna expect to see price basically like getting support from these anymore. What I would like to see is price using this as a target. So we got our breaker, not yet, okay, but I'm expecting these down close candles to become a breaker. It's not a breaker yet, so don't push button early thinking about that like these are gonna be the breaker. So we did a stop hunt, right? So we need price to go below here now. If it's not doing that, then we are going up here. So we have two scenarios. Either we are confirming this is a breaker and then clearing out these liquidity levels that we generated, or we are going straight up here at 220 and we will continue going higher. Okay, because these are order blocks and we also generated a fair value gap up here. Okay, so I'm not comfortable in taking like a turtle soup model up here because it's probably like a high probability order block, as we got fair value gaps. So let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm gonna wait more. I have no rush. So we are coming back down. So if it's a high probability order block, then price will respect these fair value gaps here. Okay. But as I see these weeks down here, I'm not comfortable buying up here. But at the same time, we did multiple stop hunt down here, right? So these are like, if we didn't had these weeks down here, I would have pushed the button here confirming like price going higher, because it is a macro and price is now trading inside the macro. But keep also in mind that we have news at news at 2:30. David, I think you are, because macro and macaroni are different, but both like gives you satisfaction, right? Both both are tasty. So yeah, you are right in that regard. So see, this is what I told you guys, that either price is activating this breaker or price is going towards this fair value gap up here by using this as an order block. So seems like price is using it as an order block, right? So this is one kind of a high probability order block. Price did multiple stop hunt, then it generated a fair value gap, came down, hit the fair value gap. Now it's going towards buy side. So we'll wait and look at Nasdaq. Okay, Nasdaq is having like a very aggressive delivery, and at the same time, what's it doing here? It's generating this beautiful trend line liquidity. Okay, it's respecting this trend line, and it will come down. Nasdaq is not gonna go towards buy side liquidity until it clears out these weighted equal lows. It's going for the premium PDRA. Okay, so all we have to do is now wait. I don't see any breaker here on Nasdaq. Let me drop down to the 15-second. Okay, on 15-second I see one. A lot of trend line liquidity down here, and okay, so if we are bullish on Nasdaq, this is what price will respect, this order block with this fair value gap, and it will keep pushing higher. So this is how you confirm a breaker. Okay, this is how you stop yourself from taking a false entry. Okay, when we're expecting a breaker is basically like a counter. You are taking a counter trade entry, right? You are all trading opposite of the trend with a breaker. So it's better to wait and confirm what price is gonna do, and you won't. So rather than forcing an early entry, as you can see, if price is going below this fair value gap, you can take an early entry, and it seems like it is now, right? So Nasdaq looking good from this breaker on 15-second. I think most of you don't have 15-second chart, but keep an okay. So see, price, I told you guys that if it's going below this inversion right here, right below this fair value gap, because this was an order block as well, right? Order block, a fair value gap. As soon as price went below this order block, price confirmed the market structure shift. We generated another fair value gap. Now let's see what we do here. I think we'll go lower because we still have lower targets, right? Because look at these levels, and this is okay. Let me switch to Nasdaq here. The chart here is too small, and now watch it. Like, we generated a fair value gap up here, and we close the candle body below the breaker. So let's see. Let's see what price is doing here. Okay, we got another news. Okay, price, the second move is coming at 2:30. So don't be in rush and like lose your account. Rather wait. I can see 22 data. Which subscription do you have? I can't see 22 data. What do you mean by 22 data? I have like the premium, the highest one, and I bought it for 2 years. So I'm basically done for two years. Equal low down here. So it seems like we are going lower, right? We came back to this fair value gap exactly where we changed our trend. Okay, we didn't have a market structure shift down here. The real market structure shift happened here at this fair value gap. Why? Because this was also a high probability model, right? Order block with a fair value gap. There's also a BPR, I think. So price went below it. It wasn't supposed to, but as we have a targets down here, it went below it, and that's where the real market structure shift happened. So this is the inversion, and we have targets down here, like high probability targets. Do you guys see it? So if you took this trade, right, like suppose from here, from this fair value gap, this is the way that you will manage it. Targeting 2R and putting your stop loss above this order block, targeting 2R. Price, I believe price will go even lower. At 230 we are expecting volatility, so it's easy for price to go here. But if price is going above this inversion, then basically we are wrong, and if it's going above this order block, it will keep trending higher and higher. So this is also something to keep in mind. So we generated a lot of equal highs, so that's what we don't want to see. Okay, price generating when it's going, forming a breaker. Do you guys see it? A lot of relative equal highs. So 1 minute before the 2:30 news gets delivered. I don't like to see this when we when a breaker is forming or getting activated. I like to see like a clean breaker with a fair value gap, and then price is just dropping from their fair value gap. But sometimes this is one kind of scenario that price forms constantly breakers, and that's what I don't, sorry, constantly equal highs, because that's what I don't want to see. Why? Because these are strong liquidity levels, right? We are expecting a drop, but when we see things like this, price will gravitate back towards these levels. These are magnet for price, these equal highs, retail stops basically. So we cleared out equal highs from here. See, that's what I told you guys, that I don't like to see this, because when price generates this, we know price is going towards here. We're expecting a bearish price action, so we don't want to see this. So when you are trading off a breaker, be careful of these things up here. So I don't know if you were able to take a partial down here, but this is a level that you should be taking a partial and letting the rest of the trade running for this level. So anyone making money here from this trade, 220 to 240, right? We got a beautiful breaker, and I walked you through like every single details here from the breaker, how when price confirmed the market structure shift. You heard me a lot of times talking about, okay, price confirmed the market structure shift. Now we want to see price going lower. I even gave you basically a signal by showing you, okay, this is gonna be entry, this is gonna be stop loss, targeting 2R, right? So price basically did provided 2R, right? So I'm also in this trade with you all. I took a partial here. I want to see price coming down here, and I have a stop loss at break even. So let's see if price comes down here or not. This is, I'm expecting this to work as a breakaway gap. We got a week, right? So this gap, I don't want to see it getting filled, but let's see. Do you guys see the wick here? Yes, that's what I mean. So when you see something like this, that becomes a breakaway gap, and we don't want to see the gap is getting filled, because if the gap is getting filled, it's a low probability. And we hit it. Now let's see. This is the last line of defense. So let's see if we go all the way down here, because we have liquidity down here, right? A lot of relative equal lows. So we deliver liquidity here. Basically, we this trade provided 2R, right? So I told you guys that every single time you see a breaker, it will give you 2R. It will deliver to you 2R basically, right? So let me share my execution, what I did and how I did it. So this is the execution that I did, the same price action that you see, entry up here inside our macro, right? And my stop loss was up here as I shared you guys, and the close of the, I took a partial here, then my stop loss got it up here. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah, so let's see if we get another chance of entry, right? We still have this really equal lows intact, okay? And price basically like generated another relative equal low, but we have higher target. Let's see what DOW is doing. Okay, DOW seems like having a better price action than NQ. Now this is our breaker here. DOW right here. So I took a trade on 15-second, right, where not only the retail hurt, but our ICT traders hurts, right? It shakes here. On 1 minute, I think people don't go below 1 minute. Here you saw me calling the market and gave you a signal for a 2R trade on 15 freaking second. To me, it's so simple, okay? Like if you know how to trade, how to read price action on 1 minute, you can do it on any time frame. It doesn't matter. The same thing, the same scenario will keep repeating on higher time frames, okay? So the folks who are like, okay, it's trading on 15 second, I don't have any jumps there. No, you have, because this is the price action that will repeat the same way, exactly the same way on 1 minute, 15 minute, and even higher. So DOW, okay, we know where DOW is going. Basically like NASDAQ, the target that we have is way too far. But do you guys also see how I gave you guys a good bias, right? This was our target, right? This was our target up here. Didn't I told you guys that price is gonna reach for this level on weekly chart, sorry, daily chart? And didn't I told you guys why it should reach up here? See, that's how you decide bias. It's so simple, and all of you are stressing over bias, and you look for a model that requires no bias. Why do you do that? It's so simple to decide a bias. And with my model, you basically don't need bias, because we trade based on the liquidity levels. You see liquidity, strong liquidity generated on equal lows, you take a trade by targeting equal low. You see liquidity got generated towards buy side in a form of equal high, you take a trade there, right? That's how we do it. So we got a breaker here, but we never came down and feel the fair value gap here. So on 1 minute, let me see if I can spot the breaker. Yeah, even on 1 minute we didn't feel it. Even on 15-second we didn't. So another trade idea will be from this fair value gap. Okay, this is not a breakaway gap in my eyes. Okay, so another thing, okay, NQ on NQ, when I showed you guys this breakaway gap, right, do you guys remember I told you guys that this is a fair value gap? I don't want to see price feeling, right, price coming up and feeling this liquidity level. That's what I don't want to see. But price came up, filled it, and after that what happened? Price trended higher. So that's what breakaway gap does, okay? It's not meant to be getting filled. If it's getting filled, it's confirming a advanced market structure shift. Like see here, price went above this breakaway gap. This is another concept that you won't find anywhere else, how to take trades using breakaway gap. I'm gonna teach it to you inside the mentorship. So see, price got support after it broke the breakaway gap. It's so easy to understand the breakaway gap concept. You have a wick, you have a fair value gap. Once it gets broken, you can take entry with it. See, there's a lot more than you see. And my stop loss was just above this one, like a break even. Okay, so on NQ I don't see anything else other than price generating another breaker, right? We are approaching towards our 250 to 310 macro, and we are having another breaker, but this time I don't see targets other than this fair value gap, right? So I feel mostly comfortable taking trades using a targeting relative equal lows. So yes, okay, it's not a breaker yet. Okay, see, this is an order block that is working. Okay, DOW didn't give a chance of entry, but I was thinking about getting it, taking an entry on DOW. Basically, like we knew this is the drawn liquidity. We knew this swing high is getting taken out, and price did it, but unfortunately, no chance of entry at all on DOW, in my eyes. I don't know about it. Other than this breaker that I see down here, right? This is the same thing that I told you guys yesterday, right? How to take early entries from a breaker. Price coming up, right? Going above the 50% of the breaker and generating a wick. It did here, and then it did here again. But basically, like, suppose if I was taking it here, my stop loss would have been getting hit. So it's good that I didn't. DOW is gonna take daily buy side liquidity now, bro. So many people come after seeing where price is delivering and tell me where price will go. Do it before price does it, okay? So we have a swing high up here. You think price is going up here? Really? This price will have to break this to go above this. This is a rejection block, okay? So price is not just gonna fly above it. He's basically like spamming chat. Okay, so this is fair value gap. Let's see if this one shows any kind of resistance. That's what I want to see here. Resistance here. So the best is like to measure this whole thing. And now let's see what happens here. This did I mark it correctly? It was on weekly chart, right? So this is the fair value gap, and we got another one, small little one here. So let's see what price is gonna do here. So we're approaching towards our another macro, 250 to 310, right? So let's see if 250 to 310 provides another opportunity. I think we will see a good reaction happening from this level up here, the midway and the upper quadrant, because this is where we are feeling the gap, basically feeling the BPR. Okay, so on NQ, another good setup is forming. Like, look at this, price generated more trend line liquidity, right? So this is equal low, a lot of relative equal lows, and we have a breaker down here. So I believe we'll have on Nasdaq, we'll see price getting support from this breaker. I'm not gonna take a trade by shorting on Nasdaq, but I believe a good opportunity will be provided from this breaker here towards buy side liquidity, and minimum 2R, I believe you can easily get it from this breaker. Why do I believe that price will get support from it? So price generated a lot of relative equal lows down here, right? So when price is coming down, what is it doing? It's providing strong sell side liquidity, right? It's providing sell side liquidity, at the same time it's gonna hit a discount PDA. So it's doing two things together. So now let's see if I'm correct or wrong. Let's go to 1 minute chart and let's wait for price. We on Nasdaq, we still have this level up here that we want to see price hitting. So DOW became slow again, chopping basically. Five minutes. Okay, so I believe at 250 to 310 price will give a good entry here. So now let's see. Okay, because we already did multiple stop hunts down here, and we still have unfinished business up here, right? And I believe we are not stopping just here. So if this is what's happening, like if price coming down giving you a chance of entry, then how will you take it? You will put your entry here, and you will put your stop loss below these order blocks that you see right here. These are order blocks, right? So this is how you will do it, and targeting 2R from here is very, very easy. Like, look at this. This 2R is not even above the swing high. So yeah, I believe we'll be safe if we are putting our stop loss below. The best thing is like doing it here, because we have a fair value gap here, right? But I don't think price will come all the way down, even down here, right? I think it will fly from after hitting this fair value gap, because at the same time it will be delivering a lot of sell side liquidity down here. So all we want to see, okay, when price is coming down to this breaker, we want to see price generating equal highs. Now very choppy price action so far, right? Price basically just stopped. So I'm gonna tape it till 310, and after that I'm closing, because I already got my trade. What is the target on higher on NQ? Okay, so now I'm gonna do the giveaway. Okay, now that we are going towards this breaker, we'll do the giveaway. Did we generated equal highs? Yes, we did. And we don't want to see price clearing this level out, rather going towards sell side strongly. So we generated equal highs, right? We have our buy side liquidity up here. So our buy side liquidity up here. Now I want to see price coming down. So I'm basically like dropping down to the lower time frame and confirming if there's equal highs or not, because on 1 minute I don't see it. And if I don't see it on 1 minute, then I'm just gonna drop down to the lower time frame and see like if it's there or not. So the folks who wanna take part in the giveaway, okay, spam the chat with hashtag mentorship. Okay, it's only for the folks who wanna take an entry, and I'm gonna choose you from there. So we generated more equal highs, right? If I drop down to the 50-minute chart, see, more equal highs. So if we are dropping straight to this fair value gap now, I believe we will have another entry, another high probability entry, not just any entry. So we'll see what happens. So okay, so every person who is taking a an entry here, hit the thumbs up. Okay, so because I can see it here who likes it or not. So if you are taking a you are participating, if you are participating in the giveaway, hit the thumbs up button, comment down below here, and who is doing both of these will have a chance to take a to get a place inside my 6-month mentorship. Nasdaq looking good as well. Yeah, I still can see like a lot of you are typing hashtag mentorship but not hitting the thumbs up button. So do it, because otherwise you will not get a chance to take entry. So there are a couple of faces that I know. I saw because I saw them watching my stream since the very beginning. So I'm favoring those. Like I see a lot of new faces, a lot of new names that I never saw before. But anyway, I'm not gonna differentiate, right? It's better to do it without differentiating. So let's see. Yeah, NQ is just chopping. I don't want to see price clearing out this equal high, because if it's doing that, price is basically like taking away my high probability target. Okay, just cleared out. Anyway, you still have this buy side liquidity intact, but it left this relative equal lows, right? So I wanted to take an entry from this breaker targeting buy side liquidity, but price left all of the sell side liquidity. Now let's see if Nasdaq provides an opportunity for an entry towards sell side. Okay, we are done. Okay, stop. We are done, guys. We are done. Now I'm gonna choose the person, and he will have a place in my mentorship for 6 months. I will do more giveaways, so don't be sad like if you don't get a chance. It's so hard to choose. It's better like if I do it with a random selection, right? So here's the winner is Pablo G. Because there's a reason why I'm choosing him, because I saw him watching my stream for a very long time. He's not just popping up today and getting the place. No, he has been here, and I believe it's gonna be very beneficial for him because it seems like he's a serious student, and all I'm doing is like helping people. So I want to help the students who are sincere. So Pablo, all you have to do, email, take a screenshot, okay, of this comment. Take a screenshot of this comment, okay, and drop your email so that I can because what happened last time I did a giveaway like this, and a lot of people like who are not the actual guy commented like for to take the place. Not commented, emailed me. So drop your email so that I can see that this is gonna be your email, and then I'm gonna drop mine and email me with a screenshot of this, okay? So Pablo, email me at this email address, okay, with the screenshot of where I said winner is Pablo G. Okay, you can see it here, and take a screenshot, give it to me, and share your email here. Okay, I don't see your email still. I don't see it. Okay, so we hit our expected level both on Nasdaq and DOW, right? So let's see, we have a breaker on Nasdaq on 1 minute chart. This is the breaker right here, breaker to breaker. So if you are taking a trade from this breaker, targeting this breaker, basically like 1.5 hour is what you will get. So let's see if price is giving a chance of entry. So here's something I see on 15-second chart. We have a fair value gap here, right? This is more like a BPR. So let's see if this one sends price lower. This BPR. So Pablo, share your email with me and email me with this screenshot. I don't see your email yet. So see, this BPR got respected. Now price is gonna go lower from this BPR. And this is the breaker on 1 minute, okay? So this is basically, price is basically confirming that it will activate this breaker. And we don't have any other breaker here. That's the thing. So on 1 minute chart, this is the breaker block. So if you want to take a safe entry, I will recommend you to wait for price to come down, going below this breaker, and then take the entry. What I did is just basically like I dropped down to the 15-second chart to confirm if price is basically going below this breaker or not, and seems like it is going below this breaker. Yeah, Pablo forgot to share his email. I think he just left after he heard that he's the winner. Jamar, another day, okay, brother? Like, I'll do more and more giveaways of my mentorship. I'm not stopping streaming on YouTube yet, okay? I'm still gonna do streaming on December, and we'll see like basically what happens. So, and on, okay, so look at here on DOW. I believe DOW is gonna provide a good opportunity. I'm on 30-second chart on DOW, and we have a breaker inside where our macro, and at what level? The level that I showed you guys where price will be sensitive. So DOW is looking way cleaner, way better than NASDAQ. So let's see what DOW provides. So this is the breaker. I believe this will work. This breaker will work. So how can you take an entry from this breaker? You can take entry from here with a stop loss above it, targeting like 2R basically, down below here. So let's see. You're running inside a macro, and let's see if price is respecting the logic that I'm telling you guys here. If not, then this is gonna be the last call, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow again. Okay, not tomorrow. Tomorrow we won't have a stream. I have some things to do. I have to make the contents for the mentorship, so I'm not gonna be streaming tomorrow. Pablo, share your email here. Okay, I don't know if you can hear me carefully or not. Share your email and then email me with the screenshot of this chat, okay, where I announced that you were the winner. So this breaker didn't work out. So see, this was the last call. I was expecting price going lower from here because this is the weekly fair value gap, and this was the BPR on the weekly chart. This was a strong level. Price is basically just consolidating here now, right? Price going to keep going higher. Yeah, it can push higher. I'm done. So it's 15:01. I'm gonna close my stream here. So far I think price just got choppier, right? Price just became choppier, and in my eyes I don't see any trades on 1-minute chart. There's nothing. What I teach is not on 1-minute chart. It's not visible. Look at ES. Okay, look at ES. What is this? So everything became lower probability after like 3 o'clock, like after 220 to 240 macro, right? Price just became choppier. So this is gonna be it for today, folks. I'm gonna catch you guys tomorrow, not tomorrow, on Friday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and we'll tape it together. We'll try to find out the setup, and that's gonna be it for today. Take care, and Pablo, email me with the screenshot and you will have a place in my mentorship for 6 months. I'm closing it here, folks. Peace.